Hello and welcome back everyone. It's story time once again with complicated relationships. Hope you guys are safe and healthy. Now let's see what the story is about today. In today's story, OP says, recently my wife used to ask me the time I was coming home. I have been with my wife for over 7 years and married for 2. We have 2 kids, a house and the whole 9 yards. This fall, I decided to get a second job to support our family financially because our living expenses were a little out of hand. I talked to her about it prior to getting it, and she agreed at first, but when the reality sank in, she tried to talk me out of it. The thing that bothers me is, prior to getting this job, I had this sinking feeling that she might start seeing someone else behind my back. She proved me right. After a few months, I noticed that we have been getting out of love off and on, and eventually I started to notice a pattern of behavior that would lead me to start getting suspicious. She began hiding her phone or always keep it in her hand. Also, she began to lock the door on me while she slept with the kids to get them to sleep. For a while, I had a feeling that something was off, but I figured she hasn't done anything wrong. It wasn't until October when I tried to get into the room that they were sleeping on the days I returned from my second job, and every chance that I had to get in, she would wake up, and other times she would have the phone hidden under her pillow or someplace I could not access. She started to make up time and sometimes ask me what time I was coming home or where along the route I was in, the commute from my day job back home, and when I was off during my second. She would also spontaneously go to work early, far earlier than usual. Eventually, I started to become really worried. I know that I was fairly inattentive since I was working 2 jobs and also going to school, but she would tell me time and time again that she wishes I was more affectionate towards her. Maybe it was the stress of it all, but I knew that wasn't the way to solve anything. Late October, when I was getting off from my day job, we had a heart-to-heart conversation about me being more affectionate. I listened to what she had to say and told her I am going to change. To be honest, I did. I started compliments aplenty, and I would surprise her with breakfast and other things from time to time. I thought I was making headway, but she kept pushing me away. She would take really long baths and sometimes wouldn't come to bed at all. Come November, I tell her that we never sit down and talk about our feelings and work things out, but she told me that she was too tired of me always going back to my old ways of being nice to her and then treating her the same as before. We left it at that, and she still did her usual secretive things. On Thanksgiving Day, I had to work, so I was out for a few hours and came back in the afternoon and got dressed for the Thanksgiving dinner that night. I met her in the restroom and held her tightly, and I told her that I missed her so much. She didn't seem very affectionate back. Thanksgiving dinner went okay. The food was good, but she was in a bad mood for about 30 minutes or so. Later got a little better. I eventually had to retire early for the night so I can work on Black Friday the next morning. I kissed her goodbye, took our son home with me so I could get him to sleep. I tried to get some sleep but couldn't. I kept tossing and turning, but I just wasn't having it. Eventually I fell asleep, but I woke up to the chime of the door when she came in. I was so happy to lay down next to her. I was holding her, but she pushed me away as usual. She told me it was that time of the month and to leave her alone. So I did, but I had to look at her phone that night. Something told me that I just had to. I had to take it out from under her hip, and she noticed that it was missing and started to reach for her phone to find it. I dropped it under the bed so she wouldn't find it immediately and just waited for her to give up and go back to sleep because she was tired. When I was comfortable enough with her sleeping, I decided to look through her phone. What I saw was really bad. The entire Thanksgiving Day, she was talking to the guy that she was seeing, telling him how she dreamt of him, how she loved him, and how she wanted to cuddle, etc. I couldn't believe this was actually happening to me, and that this wasn't the person I married, and there was no mistake, it was her. I thought for a minute on how to deal with it, and I decided to wake her up to confront her. I told her that I couldn't believe that she would do this to me. I asked her how many times it was physical. She said it was only oral for a few seconds and that was it. I did not believe her. I eventually spent the entire Black Friday with the thoughts of what they did behind my back while I was at work. I didn't have for one moment a chance to process what happened. It was my own personal mess that I would wish on no man. Eventually, we made up a bit after a few days, and she opened up to me of some of the things they did together, and it crushed me. But I was kind of appreciative that she was being somewhat honest with me. We were intimate every day for the next few days, and it was fantastic. But I couldn't help but feel that there was more she wasn't letting on. I obsessed over it. It consumed me, and I wouldn't stop asking what exactly happened. She was very tricky about the days they met, how many times they met, and what they did. It seems like I got a different answer every time. I started to snoop. It wasn't until I saw the call logs that I realized that this has been going on for over a month. I confronted her, but she insisted that at the time in mid-October, they were just friends. I wasn't having it, which leads me to today. I decided to give it one more go. I came up with the idea to ask her one more time if she had anything to tell me. I had my phone in hand the entire time because I was playing on the fact that I knew that they made a video of the two of them at some point. I must have put on one big show because she finally fessed up to me. She said that it was physical more than one occasion. So she lied about everything. I was hurt and I treated her very disrespectfully that I wish I could take everything back. She told me that she does love me and she wants to work things out. But I can't help but feel that she will betray me again. I asked her why she did it on several occasions and each time she says that she doesn't know. I told the doctor today that she had a relationship behind my back and I want to seek counseling for myself and then marriage counseling with her. I still love her. I can't bear the thought of her leaving me, but the betrayal is eating at me. I keep seeing images of them together and doing things that she and I could do. I intend to seek counseling, but in the interim, I can't find a way to get over this. It's destroying me. How can I move past this? She tells me all the time that she loves me, but I can't get over the fact that I have to constantly go behind her back to find out the truth. She had no intention of ending it with AP. She says that she's glad that she got caught and that she regrets everything. She wants to make amends and start a new life with me. Thank you all for listening. That's all OP has to say at this time. I believe with the right help he will be able to forgive his wife and move on. She got caught in a fantasy and she needs to figure it out herself. OP, you should reach out to your friends. Seek counseling regardless of they stay together or not. We have reached to the end of the story. Before we go, let's listen to a few comments by the beautiful community. One Bad Shot says, "You sacrifice for your family by working a second job, and your dear wife repays your dedication by going behind your back. Counseling can do a lot of good things, but it cannot instill decency, integrity, or the character into a person who lacks these things. Your wife has proven herself to be a deeply flawed person. There is no way you can trust her again. You should tell her to move out and start the divorce proceedings. She watched you work yourself to the bone and thought, while his back is turned, this is a great time to start seeing someone else. How can you reconcile with that?" Here we go again, TJ says. "She doesn't respect you or think you deserve to know the truth of her betrayal. She will do this to you again and again and again. You will be a shell of a man when she leaves you for another man. She already denied a lot and she is never going to be honest. Be smart, cut your losses and move on before she takes everything from you. Respect yourself, man." High Kick 321 says, "You need to firstly stop the intimacy and get out of the house for a few days. She needs no contact from you. You also need her to give you 100% access to your phone and locations at all times. You must also stop all the applications that she can use to contact the other guy. Do not go to marriage counseling yet. She needs individual counseling first. She needs to figure out how she is broken before you both try to make this marriage work. Go print out the divorce paperwork and fill it out. She must see the papers are ready so she knows that you will leave her if she cannot fix her massive mistake. You both need to do the 3 things I recommend all couples do. Number 1. She needs to type off 30 reasons why she chooses you over the other guy. She owes you 1 a week over the next month. You need to do this as well. These are to rebuild that you want to stay in the marriage for each other. She needs to write out what was going through her head and happening in your life before she met the AP, during the affair, and after you found out. You do the same for her. Then the 2 of you fix the timelines and events. This helps with the empathy you two need. Number 3. The last thing to fix is your self-image. She needs to download a dating app for you, or you can go to a club or somewhere you will get attention from other women. This is for the 2 of you to realize that you are desired by other women but you choose her. Good luck, and don't listen to others who tell you to just leave because you have kids and those idiots don't understand. End of the story. Please like, comment and share the story if you enjoyed it. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you will be notified when we upload the next video. Take care.